Yo guys, welcome to HITC Sport. Man, what a weekend it was. Real Madrid receiving 3 penalties, Bayern briefly fielding 12 players, and Pedri dancing through the Sevilla defense like prime Michael Jackson. What an absolute baller he is. But more on him later. I'm back again, me being Nuri, or the Dutch guy, whatever you guys like to call me, to tell you all about the games from this weekend. No face cam this week. As you guys probably already noticed, I'm currently moving houses, so bear with me. Let's kick off in Spain. And oh yeah, if you stick around long enough, you get to see my predictions for this week's Champions League games. Let's see how that goes. Starting off with the league leaders, where it was up to Real Madrid to get back in full swing after the disappointing result against Barcelona. And result-wise, yeah, they won, but Ancelotti's team struggled against a Celta side that smelled blood and were eager to overtake Osasuna to enter the top half of the table. But football at times is an unfair game, and perhaps this was one of those games for Celta. Real Madrid took all 3 points home, winning 2-1 courtesy of Courtois, who had some outstanding saves, and a referee that secretly wore a Real Madrid jersey under his refereeing kit. Los Blancos were awarded 3 penalties, 2 of which seemed fair in my opinion, whereas the last one seemed a little bit fishy if you ask me, and obviously that exact penalty turned out to be the match winner, after who else than Karim Benzema cold-bloodedly scored against Celta shotstopper Di Turo. Benzema scoring number 23 and 24 of the season, 10 goals more than next best Juanmi for Real Betis. After this weekend, Real remained on top with a 12-point lead over second place. To be fair, there's nothing that can go wrong for them anymore. Moving on to second place, where Barcelona are the new runners-up after securing a 1-0 victory over former second place Sevilla. It's safe to say that the golden days are back for the Blaugrana, or is that statement a little bit too premature? Well, there's no denying that Xavi has worked wonders in the months since his arrival, having gone from 9th the day he took over to 2nd in the league after going unbeaten for 14 games straight, winning against the likes of Valencia, Atletico, Real Madrid and now Sevilla. Barca has a golden generation with the likes of Ferran Torres, Gavi, Frenkie de Jong, Ousmane Dembele and Pedri, with the latter stepping up in this game, scoring a beauty while simultaneously putting 2 Sevilla defenders to sleep. This guy really can do it all. But on a real note, if you guys haven't seen the goal yet, go check it out after this video. Ousmane Dembele also continued his great form from the last couple of weeks, assisting Pedri's goal. Dembele has now provided the most assists in the top 5 leagues since the turn of the year, making him a key player for Xavi. Let's hope for Xavi that the club can find some spare change for his new contract, because in this form, Dembele is one of the best in the world in his position. Just like Barcelona, Atletico also moved up the table after their 4-1 victory against Deportivo Alaves. However, the scoreline for this game doesn't necessarily display the type of game it actually was. Alaves proved to be a tough opponent for Atleti, creating some good chances but failing to finish them, which leaves Alaves dead last in La Liga. João Felix and Luis Suarez were deadly, with Atletico showing some great quick transitions, both netting a brace in this game. Like I said in my last video, João Felix has been on fire these last couple of games, having scored 6 in his last 6 La Liga games. The Portuguese striker is finally showing what he can add to Simeone's side. The other striker, Luis Suarez, now scored his 11th goal of the season after coming on in the second half for Griezmann, with El Pistolero now only a bit part player for Atletico. On Saturday, Getafe won 1-0 against relegation fighters Mallorca, with 19th place Levante getting a shock win over Champions League quarterfinalist Villarreal. On Sunday, Athletic Bilbao won against Elche, while Granada drew against Rayo Vallecano and Valencia played out a dull 0-0 versus Cadiz. Real Betis cemented their place in the top 5 of La Liga, with Juanmi scoring a brace and giving 2 assists, continuing his form in an already unbelievable season for the Spanish international. Let's take a trip to Germany, where we're going to start off with league leaders Bayern Munich, who played against Freiburg side that's still very much in the running to qualify for the Champions League next season. However, this game didn't contribute much to that goal, as Bayern made no mistake, winning the game 4-1. Bayern saved all their goals for the second half, which surprisingly enough, Lewandowski not even netting one of Bayern's 4 goals. But this wasn't even the main event of this fixture. 5 minutes before the end of the game, Koeman was supposed to get substituted, but didn't leave the pitch immediately, leaving Bayern with 12 players, before the Freiburg players noticed it after about 20 seconds. The mistake was caused, as Koeman's old number 29, was held up by the 4th official, while the winger currently wears the number 11. The matter was resolved quickly, and Bayern went on to score the 4-1 in extra time, winning the game and extending their lead to 9 points over second place Dortmund. Die Borussen faced off against 4th place Leipzig, where the BVB could have continued to put pressure on Bayern, but just like the entire season, the result was disappointing to say the least. Leipzig easily put Dortmund aside, already going up 3-0 within the hour. and Nkunku inspired his team, bagging a goal and giving 2 assists to secure the win for Leipzig. The Frenchman has already scored 12 goals and assisted a further 7 in 15 games since the turn of the year, making him one of the most informed players in the top 5 leagues in 2022. And Nkunku's masterclass, the brace from Leimer and a goal from Olmo gave Leipzig the edge over Dortmund in their race for Champions League qualification. Now moving on to the other games where third place Bayern Leverkusen won against relegation-bound Hertha, as Augsburg got 3 very important points against Wolfsburg in their fight to stay up in the Bundesliga. The first game of the match day ended in a 1-0 victory for Union Berlin over Cologne, while 3 games ended in a draw this weekend. The title race is heating up in Italy, where 3 teams are still in the running for that elusive Scudetto. First up, it was Napoli's turn, as the first of the top 3 teams to play their match. Napoli had a tough task facing Gasparini's footballing machine Atalanta, where Spalletti's side was in trouble in the opening 15 minutes of the game. The referee awarded Napoli a penalty after Dries Mertens got fouled by Atalanta goalkeeper Musso. The penalty proved to be a turning point for Napoli, scoring another goal before halftime. Both teams scored a goal in the second half, ending the game in a 3-1 victory for Napoli. No mistake made by the team from Naples. After seeing Napoli win, the pressure was fully on Inter, who played against Juventus, and for me, this was one of the most exciting games as both teams went back and forth just like a tennis match. Both teams had some good chances, but the game eventually got decided from a set piece. In first instance, Çalhanoğlu missed the penalty, but Matthijs de Ligt entering the box too early saved Çalhanoğlu and his team, as he was allowed to retake the penalty, scoring the second time around. This result keeps Inter in the hunt for the Serie A title, whereas the old lady is now officially out of the race, if they were ever really in it to begin with. Going from the old lady to the old man, where Zlatan Ibrahimovic's AC Milan played out a goalless draw against 12th place Bologna. With the game being played on Monday, AC Milan knew exactly what they had to do after seeing their rivals win their games, but somehow they couldn't take the 3 points home, seeing their lead decrease from 3 points to only 1. Udinese had the biggest result of the weekend, winning 5-1 against Cagliari, while both Rome teams also won their games against Sassuolo and Sampdoria respectively, with Fiorentina, Spezia and Torino all winning their games 1-0. After all the negativity from the last weeks, there was finally a positive result for PSG. The Paris-based club won 5-1 against Lorient with the most expensive attack in the entire world, turning up with Messi scoring once, while Neymar and Mbappe both break the brace. A crazy fact is that this was the first time this season that all 3 managed to score a goal in the same game, and we're already in April. I don't think that anyone would have expected that at the beginning of the season. PSG keep their 12-point lead over second place Marseille in Liga, where the championship is already decided 8 games before the end of the season. This weekend turned out to be quite evenly matched, with 2 games ending in a draw, while all the other games were decided with only 1 goal difference separating the teams in each match, except for the PSG and Marseille games, with the latter winning 4-2 against Saint-Etienne. Let's have a look at the rest of Europe, where Ajax looked very poor in their game against Groningen, still winning 3-1, while rivals PSV lost 2 points against Twente in a 3-all draw, with Ajax extending their lead to 4 points at the top of the table. Porto and Sporting, the number 1 and 2 of Portugal, both won their games, while Benfica lost their game against 4th place Braga. And over in Scotland, Celtic won the Old Firm derby against Rangers, extending their lead at the top of the table to 6 points. We're into the exciting stages of the competition now, where the last 8 teams will battle it out for a place in the semi-finals, and let's start off with my personal favourites to win the entire thing at the end of May. It's Manchester City. After losing the final last year, I have a strong feeling that the club will prevail this time around. Atletico will be a tough opponent, with the Madrid-based outfit dangerous on the counter-attack with a solid defense that is difficult to break down. My feeling is that Man City will win the first game while drawing the second, subsequently knocking out Simeone's side. Next up will be Benfica against Liverpool, and I can be brief with this one. Benfica was the weaker side in at least 3 of the 4 halves they played against Ajax over the 2 games in the round of 16, but still somehow managed to advance. In my opinion, this won't happen again, and instead of Ajax, Liverpool will not let Benfica off the hook that easily. Hence why Liverpool will win both games and advance to the semi-final without any difficulty. We're kicking off Wednesday's games with the current champions against the club with the most titles in the competition. It's Chelsea against Real Madrid. And to my surprise, many bookmakers have Chelsea as favourites for this tie, while I'm convinced that Los Blancos will knock out the London club. Chelsea showed over the weekend that they're vulnerable in the back, conceding 4 against Brentford, but this doesn't happen often, and I think that the problem lies on top for the Blues. In Chelsea's last game, Havertz was the attacker with the most goals on the field, having only scored 6 the entire season, with fellow attackers Ziyech and Werner adding a mere 5 goals combined. Compare that to Benzema's 24 goals and it's clear that Real Madrid have a far greater attacking output, with the likes of Vinicius Jr. not even mentioned yet. Real Madrid will make the semis, winning the first leg, while Chelsea takes the second, but enough for Los Blancos to advance. And now moving on to probably the most straightforward of the bunch, and I'm just gonna say it. Bayern will reach the semi-finals with a win both away and home, with Lewandowski scoring at least twice. I'm sorry Villarreal, but your road ends here. Thanks guys for sticking around to the end of this video. Be sure to like, share and subscribe and tell me your predictions in the comments. I'll reply to some of you and have a conversation with you there. See you on Thursday to see if I was correct or absolutely miles off. See you in the next one. Peace.